Forget heroes. This countdown worships the women who set the screen on fire and then burn it down. Seductive assassins, masterminds, and heartbreakers battle for supremacy. Hit play, feel the temperature spike, and brace yourself. Number 1 isn't who anyone's betting on. She'll rewrite desire, danger, and cinematic history. Poison Ivy, Batman and Robin. Poison Ivy doesn't make an entrance, she makes the room hers. Covered in sculpted leaves and coiled red hair, she doesn't beg for attention, she redirects it. Uma Thurman plays her like a botanical goddess with zero patience for mankind. Each line is slow, syrupy, and laced with contempt. Every movement is measured, shoulders back, chin high, lips curved into something between seduction and judgment. Her kiss is death, yes, but it's offered like a favor. You don't resist because you don't want to. Even buried in glue and talc, Thurman holds the screen like it owes her rent. Ivy's not chaotic, she's strategic. She wants the planet back, and she'll get it one body at a time. In a city built on corruption and concrete, Poison Ivy is the one force that makes Gotham stop and sweat. Not with fear, with desire, and the quiet sense that nature might win. Kathy Moffett, Out of the Past. 1940s noir, never panics, never begs. Kathy is the elusive, manipulative woman pulling Jeff Bailey into that dangerous quest. She just lies smoothly. Practiced, always one step ahead, or maybe one step behind getting caught. She pulls you into this tangled, fatal web of deceit, murder, makes you question every truth, every motive. You find yourself wanting to believe her even when everything tells you not to. She constantly switches the story, conjures tears on demand, shifts blame with practiced ease. Jane Greer, the actress, never overdoes it. It's a steady pressure, a calculated softness, way more effective than being loud. Kathy gambled on human weaknesses, greed, love, whatever worked. She just didn't count on her luck, her lies eventually running out. Jeff, seasoned detective, sees her coming a mile off, and he still lets her twist the knife. You're pulled in deeper with every word she speaks, even as you realize you're being played. She doesn't yell, doesn't posture, just walks in, and the entire room adjusts itself around her. O-Ren Ishii from Kill Bill Volume 1. You feel it. She's the leader of the Tokyo Yakuza, and she never needs to prove it. Her silk kimono, her hair, sharp as her blade, every single move is a silent warning. Don't test me. Her presence proves ultimate power doesn't need volume. No wasted words, no wasted movement, just death in perfect form. Lucy Liu, the actress, didn't speak Japanese before the role. She learned her lines phonetically, meticulously, which gave them this exact, unyielding quality that added to her imposing presence. Her swordplay? It's not about raw speed. It's about absolute control. Surgical precision. That iconic snow garden fight. Still one of Tarantino's best sequences. Visually stunning. She gives this chilling smile just before the screen explodes in red. She's the quietest one in the room. Yet you instinctively know she'll be the last woman standing. Her precision. Her unshakable calm. That's what makes her so terrifyingly effective. Amy is a suburban wife who fakes her own murder to frame her husband. Rosamund Pike plays her like a controlled burn, steady, clean, utterly devastating. She leaves this meticulous trail, fabricated evidence, orchestrated wreckage, masterfully orchestrating her own disappearance. The framing completely shifting how you see victimhood, turning herself into the missing girl hero. And get this, Rosamund Pike actually studied real criminal psychology to perfect the details. How to breathe, how to stare, how to subtly win control of a room. Every move is meticulously calculated, every smile perfectly timed. She orchestrates every single moment, never snaps under pressure, maintains this unnerving composure. When her huge, elaborate plan finally unravels, you're not even angry, you're just exhausted, maybe even feeling a bit of grudging respect. For the sheer audacity, the painstaking extent of her planning, it's something else. Let's take Phyllis Dietrichson from Double Indemnity, the classic film noir. She steps into the frame and you immediately know, okay, this is the blueprint. This is the model for every femme fatale that came after. Phyllis is the bored housewife, and she orchestrates her husband's murder and makes it sound like just common sense with that platinum blonde wig. And apparently, Barbara Stanwyck, the actress, worried it made her look too cold. And that ankle bracelet, subtle but iconic. She uses the soft voice to get a guy to risk everything just by sitting close, lighting a cigarette. That's it. Her performance really set the standard, how seductive, how lethal a woman could be on screen. It shaped the whole film noir genre for, well, decades. Every move she makes, it's about control, never chaos. That smile of hers, it's not warmth. It's the quiet architect of destruction, hard at work. You watch her pull the strings effortlessly. You can't help but question, where does the real danger lie? How easily can persuasion just slip into coercion? Annie Laurie's star Gun Crazy pulls the trigger like she's casually lighting a cigarette. Annie is the thrill-seeking, gun-toting femme fatale pulling her partner into a life of crime. Calm, cool, almost bored with the act of violence itself, she pulls her partner into this whirlwind of escalating crime. Driven by an insatiable hunger for thrills, dangerous power, corrupting everything around her. She's not reckless, not really. She just craves the thrill, the power, the exhilarating rush of doing something awful and walking away with a smirk. She spots her future partner at a shooting range, takes him over without saying much. That initial look says everything they need to know about each other. Peggy Cummins, the actress, doesn't blink, not once, through any of it. She's seductive, sure, but it's the sheer danger that keeps you watching, unable to turn away. She's not looking for love. She's looking for a partner in crime, a kindred spirit, and you find yourself caught in her compelling, dangerous gaze. Bridget O'Shaughnessy, the Maltese Falcon, never panics, never begs. Bridget is the elusive, manipulative woman pulling Sam Spade into that dangerous quest. She just lies smoothly. Practiced, always one step ahead, or maybe one step behind getting caught. She pulls you into this tangled, fatal web of deceit. Murder makes you question every truth, every motive. You find yourself wanting to believe her even when everything tells you not to. She constantly switches the story, conjures tears on demand, shifts blame with practiced ease. Mary Astor, she never overdoes it. It's a steady pressure, a calculated soft, way more effective than being loud. Bridget gambled on human weaknesses, greed, love, whatever worked. She just didn't count on her luck, her lies eventually running out. Sam Spade, seasoned detective, sees her coming a mile off, and he still lets her twist the knife. You're pulled in deeper with every word she speaks, even as you realize you're being played. Vera, played by Anne Savage in the 1940s noir Detour, doesn't flirt, she outright threatens. Vera is the ruthless, manipulative femme fatale hitchhiker, flipping the whole story the moment Al Roberts picks her up on that desert highway. No smile, no charm, just sharp, cutting eyes and a voice that slices straight through you, exposes every weakness. She's a relentless force of pure leverage, merciless exploitation, trapping you in a no-win scenario. Absolutely no clean escape. One second, you're behind the wheel thinking you're free. The next, you're hopelessly tangled in her trap. Doesn't care why you're running, what happened before. All she sees is weakness and leverage to exploit. Leans in close just enough to make you sweat, then tightens the screws. Fast, relentless. Doesn't want love, doesn't want money, not even outright power. She just wants to win at any cost. And you're already finished. You just haven't figured it out yet. But she has. Long ago. Anne Savage, in classic 1940s noir, still delivers one of the meanest performances ever put on film. Kitty Collins from The Killers. Ava Gardner's Kitty Collins doesn't need to raise her voice, doesn't wave a gun. She just looks at you. And you're done. Completely. Kitty is the classic femme fatale, right? Her allure just draws men to their doom. She is the quiet epicenter of all the trouble, orchestrating chaos, driving others to their demise without ever getting her own hands dirty. She walks into a room and suddenly everyone's off balance. Plans disrupted, intentions swayed. She's smooth, careful, all velvet and calculation. And while she isn't pulling triggers herself, every bad decision, every tragic end, somehow leads right back to her. Gardner kept her performance cool, collected, never too eager, never rushed. She's the kind of danger that doesn't need fireworks or big declarations. You only realize you're fully tangled in her web when you're already finished. Catherine Murtay, Cruel Intentions, could ruin your life with a smile and a whisper. She's the queen of private school warfare. Every move, calculated. Every compliment, a trap. She weaponizes sweetness, then watches you bleed. Sarah Michelle Gellar plays her with surgical precision. Cool, elegant. Every word wrapped in velvet, hiding a blade. She never yells, she doesn't need to. Her posture alone tells you who's in charge. She makes manipulation look like good manners, turns kindness into ammunition, turns trust into target practice. The brilliance is in the stillness. You're busy admiring her confidence, while she's dismantling your entire world behind the scenes. She plays people like chess pieces, smiling, silent, deadly, and by the time you realize the game has started, you're already checkmated. Then there's the TX, Terminator 3. Steps out of the car like she's heading to a high fashion show, then effortlessly levels half a city block. Yeah, TX is the advanced liquid metal Terminator, sent from the future to wipe out John Connor's lieutenants. Kristanna Loken, who plays her, barely says a word the whole film. She is the inevitable, unstoppable force of technological destruction, combining advanced weapons with this chilling, almost elegant purpose. Everything about her menace is conveyed in that robotic walk, her absolute stillness, the unnerving way her eyes scan a room like it's already cleared. Mission accomplished. The sound design team actually pulled the sound of her plasma cannon from an electric cello, ensuring her violence sounded weirdly elegant, almost musical. That smooth, deadly tone is murder, dressed for the red carpet. And you might think you've got time to run to react. You don't. She's faster than logic, colder than any human purpose. Serlina, Men in Black 2. Shows up in lingerie, eats a guy whole, keeps smiling. That's Serlina for you. The alien shapeshifter posing as a lingerie model. She embodies pure sci-fi seduction, twisted inside out into grotesque menace. A visceral reminder that beauty can hide cosmic horror, unimaginable stuff. Lara Flynn Boyle leans into it with this weird, casual menace. Total disregard for human life. Doesn't care what planet you're from. To her, you're just lunch. Convenient. Her striking costume used transparent PVC. It caught every shimmer of light, made her look almost liquid, not quite human. You find you can't stop staring at her, even when she's sprouting tentacles, dragging bodies into black holes. You don't flirt back, you just freeze, paralyzed. And by then, it's way too late. Queen Accasha, Queen of the Damned. She doesn't have to announce herself, she just stands there, regal. Aaliyah brings this quiet authority, just letting silence and posture do the talking. Gold-painted skin and a dramatic costume turn heads, but it's the control that really makes you stare. She never rushes, every look almost daring you to look away. There's heat in her calm. She expects obedience, never chases it. The real danger is how still she stays, how little she reacts. What makes her attractive isn't just supernatural beauty, it's the way she lets everyone else orbit, never breaking that gaze. She knows she's in charge, so does everyone else. Alaya's performance lingers because it's never forced. She makes power look easy, and that's exactly what keeps you watching. Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. Batman Returns. Didn't just wear the suit, she literally became something else in it. Catwoman is the meek secretary transformed into this furious, unhinged anti-hero. That stitch-tight latex, the whip, the eyes that never blink, magnetic, a testament to her rebirth. She embodies this fierce, liberated rage, transforming from a seemingly meek victim into a dangerous, unhinged avenger, blurring the lines between hero and villain with every whip crack. Pfeiffer trained for weeks with a bullwhip, and a lot of those stunts? All her, no doubles. She walks into a scene tense, pissed off, crackling with electric energy. There's that unforgettable moment, the bird in her mouth. Unhinged, yes, but still chillingly calculated. She doesn't flirt, she threatens actively. Sexy? Absolutely, but never soft or submissive. The line between pain and pleasure isn't just blurred with Catwoman, it's sharpened to a razor's edge. You've probably never seen a comic book performance quite that alive, that dangerous, that perfectly feral. Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad, doesn't just show up, she erupts onto the screen. Harley is the unpredictable, anarchic villainess who finds this chaotic joy in destruction. Baseball bat in hand, glitter shorts, and that look. Half dare you not to. She's a force of pure, unadulterated chaos. Her chaotic energy turns violence into this bizarre, thrilling carnival, constantly challenging expectations, making anarchy oddly appealing, even when it's aimed right at you. Margot Robbie, trained like hell for this role. Even learned to hold her breath underwater for over a minute just to pull off that acid tank scene. Incredible. There's the distinct costume, sure, but the real danger, the magnetism? It's in her rhythm. The icy way she talks, laughs, swings that bat. 1 second she might seem like your best friend, the next, she's your last, most exhilarating mistake. She shouldn't be that magnetic, logically, but you'd absolutely follow her straight into the fire. It's her sheer unpredictability that truly captivates. Makes her so compelling. Ava Lord isn't just a femme fatale, she's the whole fatal equation. When Ava enters, she rewires the room. In Sin City, she's more than temptation. She's the architect of every downfall. Eva Green gives her a polished surface, lipstick sharp as a razor, skin like silk. But behind that is a master of betrayal. She never needs a grand speech. A single glance, one perfectly placed word, and you're already complicit. At the gala, everyone else sparkles. Ava quietly distorts every motive, every loyalty, until the men around her are puppets tightening their own nooses. Green weaponizes stillness. Ava drifts through scenes, never quite touching anything, but everything breaks in her wake. Marriages, friendships, lives. She just knows exactly how you'll respond. That's real power. And when the final twist lands, you realize she's played both sides from the start. Savior and executioner, victim and mastermind. By the time you catch up, you almost admire her audacity, even as you fear her. Ava Lord doesn't just change Basin City, she brands your darkest instincts. Madison Lee, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle. Corporate chic meets special ops ruthlessness. Betrayal never looked so sculpted, so precise. Madison is the former angel turned villain, using her past against her old friends. She weaponizes past relationships, trust, turning loyalty into a strategic vulnerability, powerfully showing how dangerous a familiar face can truly be. Demi Moore trained with actual Navy SEAL instructors for this, carving that boardroom to battlefield credibility into every single frame. 1 minute she's in a pristine silk blouse, exuding corporate power. The next, she's firing 2 pistols mid-air, landing like she rehearsed it in heels, not a hair out of place. There's absolutely nothing messy about her. Nothing accidental. She's the kind of boss you don't outsmart. You just try to survive her plans. And even then, she probably still emerges victorious. You know what sets Gazelle apart from Kingsman? It's not just the blades. And yeah, those carbon fiber legs will absolutely ruin your day. But it's how she moves. Gazelle is the chief henchwoman for Valentine. Prosthetic legs concealing lethal blades. Her lethal grace, quiet efficiency, make her an elegant instrument of death. Proving discipline, precision, can be far more terrifying than any unhinged rage. Sofia Boutella trained extensively in capoeira for this role, so every kick, every spin, every movement looks like art in motion. She's perfectly balanced, incredibly smooth, never, ever rushed. Doesn't talk tough or make threats. She just handles business cleanly, no mess, no wasted energy. She'll finish the job before you even realize it started, then walk away like nothing happened. You blink, and she's already gone, vanished. Asami Yamazaki, audition. Eiji Shina dropped weight for the role, over 30 meals skipped, just to look like someone quietly disappearing. Asami enters softly, polite, delicate, her voice barely audible. She doesn't look dangerous. She looks careful. Every response lands like it's been rehearsed. And that's the first red flag. She keeps her posture tight, her eyes down, every gesture measured. You want to protect her until you notice she's not reacting. She's watching, calculating. There's no outburst, no breakdown, just silence. When she finally moves, it's slow and precise, hands steady, eyes locked. She doesn't enjoy what she does, she just does it. The piano wire isn't a twist, it's a final step. The kind that only works because everything before it felt so still. Sheena never overacts. She controls every frame through restraint, and that's what makes her unforgettable. Asami doesn't scare you with violence. How she scares you with quiet. By the time you realize what she is, she's already behind you, smiling, with the wire in her hand. Hela steps onto the battlefield like a judge entering her courtroom, commanding without a word. She is Odin's firstborn daughter, goddess of banished for her ruthlessness. Now she's back, and her purpose is clear. Reclaim her crown and reshape the cosmos. When she lifts her hand and shatters Mjolnir, Thor and the audience both realize they've underestimated her. It's not raw strength, it's inevitability. Cate Blanchett trained in weapons choreography and even fractured a stunt performer's rib during rehearsals, so every strike feels both elegant and unstoppable. Her black and green armor, sculpted like living shadow, moves with her as if it's part of her will. Hela doesn't shout orders. She sets the cosmos trembling with her presence. A single glance from her, and armies fall silent. By the final clash on Sakaar, she is less a villain and more a force of nature. Beautiful, unrelenting, absolute. She doesn't just steal the throne, she makes the throne feel small beneath her. The most majestically terrifying goddess in the Marvel Universe. Maddie Walker, body heat. Doesn't come on strong at all, lets the sweltering Florida heat do the work for her. Maddie is the bored, manipulative wife, seducing a lawyer into murdering her husband. Late nights, slow, smoky voice, just enough touch to keep you guessing, keep you yearning, pulls you into this tangled web of lust and murder where you mistakenly believe you're driving the affair. But in reality, you're just a pawn in her meticulous, deadly scheme. You think you're controlling the narrative, but she's holding the wheel the entire time. And once it starts, there's no cooling down, no turning back. She's smart, careful, always one move ahead. Kathleen Turner walks that dangerous line perfectly, never pushing too hard, never breaking character. Every scene with her feels like a warning you didn't hear in time, or maybe chose to ignore. By the time you finally ask what she truly wants, it's already too late. You've already given it all up. Cora Smith. The postman always rings twice. White outfit, white heels, blonde hair, so bright it almost blinds you. Before you even see the knife hidden behind her smile. Cora Smith walks out of that kitchen and the postman always rings twice, like a movie star, owning the frame. Cora is the beautiful, restless wife, conspiring to murder her older husband. She embodies the dangerous boredom that leads to desperate measures. Masterminding a crime, born out of suffocating domesticity, a profound yearning for escape. She owns the place, not with love, but with sheer undeniable leverage. She's not inherently evil, she's just profoundly bored, trapped, married to a guy she can't stand, stuck in a greasy diner she wants to burn down. Then you walk in, bringing a flicker of possibility. When the moment hits, the idea ignites. It's entirely her idea, her plan. You just help carry the body. Complicit. Lana Turner's iconic portrayal shows how subtle discontent, a burning desire for escape, can be far more dangerous than any overt malice. You meet Anna in The Lady from Shanghai. You don't see trouble, just see Rita Hayworth. All charm, soft voice, a cascade of blonde hair. Anna is the enigmatic femme fatale, ensnaring a sailor in a deadly conspiracy. She is the ultimate manipulator, drawing you into a complex, fatal plot without ever needing to get her own hands dirty, leaving you to face the bewildering consequences alone. Watch her closely. She's reading the entire room, while you're still picking your jaw off the floor, captivated, won't shout or make obvious threats, simply asks a question, makes you laugh with easy charm. And next thing you know, you're caught in something much bigger, much deadlier than you ever bargained for. She knows what you want before you do, anticipates your desires, your weaknesses. By the time you finally realize what she's truly after, you're already hopelessly tangled up, wondering how you could have possibly missed all those glaring signs. Emma Frost, X-Men, diamond skin, telepathy, a wardrobe straight out of a villain's dream of high-fashion dominance. Emma is telepathic, mutant ability to turn her skin into organic diamond. She enters yours, directly into your thoughts, controlling your mind. Embodies cold psychic dominance, controlling minds with chilling stillness, unquestionable authority. Powerfully proving mental power can be the deadliest of all. She is cold, utterly seductive, always in control. While others posture for physical power, engage in dramatic displays, she remains perfectly still, watching, knowing control already belongs to her. The iconic white fur she wears isn't just style, it's strategic. Adding to her untouchable icy persona, paralyzes minds while barely moving a muscle. January Jones plays her like a psychic executioner. Measured, icy, terrifyingly precise. Emma never asks for what she wants, never pleads, she simply expects. And when she turns her gaze on you, you feel it deep in your core. She is the thought you cannot escape, the voice inside your head that commands. That is her power, and your undeniable problem. The devil. Bedazzled. Most movie devils try to intimidate or shock, but Elizabeth Hurley goes in another direction. She trades in the usual horror cliches for crisp style and a kind of easy, knowing confidence that's more persuasive than any threat. Dressed in red, calm, and self-assured, Hurley's devil operates like a skilled negotiator. Every wish is granted with a reassuring nod, every consequence handled with a shrug and a smile. She moves through a series of transformations: teacher, sports reporter, dominatrix, adapting to whatever her mark needs. The CGI effects support the comedy, but Hurley's steady performance is what really keeps things together. There's never any bluster or posturing. She simply reads what you want, offers it, and waits for you to step into the trap. Even as each wish turns sour, her devil remains collected. The performance is about making you feel comfortable, even when things are going wrong. It's all about control. Hurley's take stands out because she never pushes too hard. She makes temptation feel safe, reasonable, almost friendly. Of all the on-screen devils, this is the one you might actually listen to, right up to the final deal. The Last Seduction. Linda Fiorentino as Bridget Gregory. Bridget Gregory doesn't flirt. She closes in. Fiorentino plays her with a flat gaze, dry wit, and a calm that's more threat than invitation. There's no wasted motion, no romantic illusions. Every line is a test. Every smile is the start of a new con. She isn't chasing affection or even wealth. It's about control, and she makes it look effortless. The seduction isn't in the promise. It's in the way she watches and waits, always a step ahead. Fiorentino delivers each scene with such quiet certainty that it's unsettling. The Last Seduction was so sharp it broke the rules. Airing on cable got her banned from Oscar contention, but her work became legendary anyway. You don't root for Bridget. You realize you never stood a chance. She's the blueprint, pure femme fatale, stripped of all sentiment, leaving only the venom and the win. Zenia on a top, GoldenEye. Zenia doesn't just enter a room, she controls it. Whether it's the casino or a quiet hallway, every move is deliberate, every look planned. Famke Janssen plays her with real restraint, never overselling, always letting tension build. That Soviet pilot discipline is in her posture and the sharp way she locks onto a target. The infamous thigh chokeholds? Not just a stunt. Janssen did her own fight scenes, left real bruises, and made every encounter feel dangerous. Costumes and bold lipstick highlight the character's authority, never slipping into camp. Janssen keeps the danger and seduction balanced, letting her silence do the talking. What makes Zenia so magnetic is her comfort with risk and violence. She stays 2 steps ahead, calm, never rattled. She's unforgettable, both for how she looks and for the threat you sense in every moment. In Bond's world, she's a genuine original. Catherine Tremell, Basic Instinct. Catherine Tremell doesn't need chaos to feel dangerous. She uses silence. Sharon Stone plays her with a level of control that's almost unnerving. Every line sounds casual, but the timing, the pauses, the way she holds eye contact, all of it feels like a trap you want to fall into. That interrogation scene isn't famous by accident. Stone doesn't just cross her legs, she redefines power without saying a word. It's confidence, not shock value. That makes it unforgettable. What most people don't know is Stone was tricked. She was told the scene would be discreet, that no exposure would be visible. She only found out in the screening room. She walked out, slapped the director, then came back and claimed the moment as her own. That's real control, on and off screen. Her style seals the deal. Crisp white dresses, tailored to perfection, paired with that calm, unflinching gaze. Catherine knows the effect she has and wields it like a weapon. She doesn't demand attention, she assumes it, and she never plays fair. Still the most dangerous woman ever written into a thriller. That entrance, Santanico Pandemonium, from dusk till dawn, it stays with you. Santanico is the mesmerizing vampire queen, luring victims to a gruesome end. Salma Hayek walks out, python draped over her shoulders, no dialogue needed, just pure visceral command filling the screen. It isn't just acting, it's embodiment. Raw, primal power. Her terrifying transformation later reveals the true monstrous horror beneath the allure, turning temptation into a literal bloodbath, defying all expectations. And get this, Hayek had a severe snake phobia, almost walked away from the role, but Tarantino convinced her to stay. That raw, underlying fear, it somehow translates into this intense focus. Her slow, exact movements, the tension is palpable in her posture, even as the room just melts around her. Then comes the reveal. Fangs, blood, chaos. Even in her most monstrous form, you find you just can't look away. It's a seduction that turns lethal, and you're just a helpless watcher. Sil doesn't talk much, but her physical presence says everything. Sil is the genetically engineered human-alien hybrid, her sole purpose to procreate. Everything about her is built to lure you. The body, the voice, the way she scans a room like she's picking dinner off a menu. She represents this pure biological imperative for destruction, blurring the lines between attraction and instinct, sci-fi terror, and primal desire. Natasha Henstridge, her very first film role, only 20, had to act through hours of full-body prosthetics for those transformation scenes, but you wouldn't know it. She moves with fluid grace, owns the space. Her alien form, designed by H.R. Giger, was meant to be both sexual and terrifying, and it is. She doesn't rage or chase, she waits. And you, drawn by instinct, you come to her. She's arguably one of the most uniquely seductive villains in any genre. You're pulled in by something you can't fight. And that's what makes her so terrifying. Who's your pick for the hottest female movie villain? Did we miss anyone? Drop your choice in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more killer rankings and movie deep dives.